I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, it was a common sight in the 80s and 90s, not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they loved their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Steelers make their way out. The Killer Bees are no more. Only one remains, and that's their quarterback, number 7, Ben Roethlisberger. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 77 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, one word for that opening play call, and that is aggressive, but it worked. First play from scrimmage, long touchdown pass.
Well, let's be honest about it. In our production meeting last night, we talked about when would the secondary get tested. I did not say that it'd get tested on play number 1. I knew as the game went along, they would take their shots, but that, as you said, a bold strike and very successful right out of the gate.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense heading out, and a welcome sight for 49er fans. Jimmy Garoppolo leading the way. Jimmy, of course, lost for the season in Week 3 last year in Kansas City, and then the Niners really struggled the rest of the way without him. The silver lining to the early season injury, it gave Jimmy Garoppolo plenty of time to heal and get back to 100%. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. A check on the numbers from Goodwin last week. 4 catches, 67 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy the defenses had better focus on.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Garoppolo. On the screen, this is Coleman. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Here we go. 180! They're going to need some therapy after this.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Here we go.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 31. Throwing now is Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ring.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Tevin Coleman. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So this drive spans 7 plays, and Tevin Coleman polished it off with a touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27th. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the slant.
Play fake to Conner. Now Roethlisberger. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. These two teams all tied after one. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down. On the counter, here's Coleman. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman, and he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Here we go. Wait, 80! Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now they hand off to Coleman. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
26, Mike. Push it back.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry. 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Garoppolo with the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Here we go.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here we go. Watch it slap.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. This one complete to Coleman. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it a second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A dump down to McKinnon. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Last year's NFL leader in field goal percentage, Robbie Gould, on for the Niners field goal. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. He's up near 100 yards now here in the second quarter, but his team's down.
Through no fault of his own. I mean, what a nice game he's having so far. They've got to keep finding ways to get him the football. Don't get away from that. Figure out where things are going wrong with the rest of the team.
He'll be hoping to hit that 100-yard mark on this drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. So we have reached halftime here at a good one. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. The defense pushing the run game back on the first play of the third quarter.
But I don't think that means abandoning the run totally. Sometimes you just have to focus on execution, right? They always talk about players, not plays. Well, tell your players to block a little bit better, and maybe the ground game can get going.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. So that one will get them halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here's Switzer. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48 and a return of 8. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 29-yard line. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Like 20. 54.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's going to go up top for the end zone. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. Boswell's kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They will run again with Coleman, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's a handoff to Coleman. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Conner. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Able to find Switzer. A gain of 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will hand to Conner, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Again, it's Conner. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Complete to Bryant. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. And Boswell's kick is good. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So he remains perfect. 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But
pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. But now it'll be 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Switzer on the return. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to Conner here on 1st. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, it's Conner. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Garoppolo and the Niners now down by 6, a minute 4 on the clock. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10.
But here we go. 180. 55. Okay, we got to get this stop here, D.
To throw is Garoppolo. This is Coleman with a grab. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Back to throw, Garoppolo. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Garoppolo to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. Garoppolo hustling him back to the line now. Now Garoppolo. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Pittsburgh, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.